This piece is number 95 and it's titled The Virgin of Guadalupe or Virgin de Guadalupe. The artist is Miguel Gonzalez and it comes from 1698 CE and it is based on the original Virgin of Guadalupe at the Basilica of Guadalupe in Mexico City. The 16th century oil on canvas on wood inlaid with mother of pearl is actually in LACMA right now. It's about 3 feet by 2.5 feet. So just some background. In Mexico, Christianity becomes especially popular after the mid-17th century as an increasingly mestizo society embraced the Virgin of Guadalupe as a national symbol. According to legend, the Virgin Mary appeared before a devout peasant, Juan Diego, on a hill near Mexico City in 1531 and told him to build a church. Juan Diego saw the vision a second time 3 days later, and her image became emblazoned on his cloak, thus providing the bishop proof of her, and he immediately ordered the building of a church on the spot. The cloak is still hung in the church and framed in gold. Today, she is the patron saint of Mexico, and the church is the second most visited pilgrimage site in the world. For this piece, she has dark skin and appeared on the hill where natives had worshipped Tonatzin, Mother of Gods, and therefore this apparition helped fuse Christian and Aztec beliefs. The site of the apparition soon became a local shrine visited mostly by Spanish settlers. By the 1640s, the shrine attracted pilgrims from all over Mexico and gained a reputation for working miracles on behalf of the visitors to her shrine. With the darker indigenous complexion, she came to symbolize a distinctly Mexican faith and promise of salvation, and she became transformed as a result into a powerful symbol of Mexican nationalism. The popularity of her helped ensure not only that the Roman Catholic Christianity would dominate cultural and religious matters in Mexico, but also that Mexican religious faith would retain strong indigenous influences. This piece is a replica of the miraculous image that is in the Basilica of Guadalupe in Mexico City. It depicts the Virgin that is perched on it depicts a virgin placed atop an eagle, and then it's placed on a cactus. So an eagle perched on a cactus. Mexico City's legendary coat of arms also includes the eagle perched on the cactus. This is significant detail that points to the rapid creolization of the cult of the Virgin of Guadalupe in the second half of the 17th century and her increasing association with a local sense of identity. Now, the piece that we see on the right is, I believe, the piece that we need to know, and let me go to it. We get a kind of a bigger view here. So, this piece is a replica, and there's significant details that she is surrounded by 4 roundels depicting her 3 apparitions to the Indian Juan Diego in 1531, and the moment when Juan Diego unveiled her image imprinted on his tunic before the bishop Juan de Zumarraga. Each roundel is supported by an angelic figure that lend a sense of playfulness and dynamism to the composition. The Virgin is shrouded in sunlight, and she has stars on her cloak. Let me see. See, that's definitely on this piece, for this piece. And the imagery comes from the book of Revelation. She is standing on the moon supported by an angel, and that's from the Song of Songs and the book of Revelation, where she is described as being clothed from the sun with the moon at her feet, and 12 golden rays crown her face and head, a reference to the crown of stars and being the Queen of Heaven. Now on the other piece, we're seeing the inlaid fragments of shell that make the work look almost otherworldly, and that's inspired by the Asian decorative arts. And this special technique was invented in Mexico, known as enconchado, or concha means shell in Spanish, similar to the siege at Belgrade that was previously presented. An important element of the work, elaborate shell inlaid frame, it combines lavish floral motifs with the symbols of the Litany of the Virgin. So that's the border. The painting represents the vibrant fusion of Eastern and Western artistic traditions in New Spain. Throughout the colonial period, there was a significant influx of Asian goods to Mexico via the legendary Manila galleons, or Spanish sailing fleet that connected the east to the west. There was Japanese embassies that were in Mexico in 1610 and 1614 that may also have contributed to the fashion for Asian-inspired objects. This work is signed by Miguel Gonzalez, who along with his brother Juan Gonzalez is considered the foremost painter of enconchados. And she's currently in LACMA right now, but it's just a really pretty piece. I really like the shell inlay because in the sunlight it sparkles.